We continue the Desert Fathers, translations of Helen Waddell, with book 14 of Obedience. 4. They used to tell of John, who was a disciple to the abbot Paul, that he was of great obedience. There was in a certain place a memorial monument, and in it lived a most evil lioness. Well, let's not moralize nature. The old man, seeing her dung about the place, said to John, "Go and take away that dung." And he said, "But what shall I do, Father, about the lioness?" And the old man, smiling, said to him, "If she comes out at thee, bind her and bring her here." So the brothers set out that evening, and behold, the lioness came out upon him. And he, obeying the old man's word, made a rush at her to take her. The lioness fled, and following after, saying, "Wait, for my abbot told me to bind thee." And he held her and tied her. The old man meantime sat waiting, and the time grew long, and he began to be sorely uneasy about him, when, behold, him coming slowly along, and the lioness about the end of the rope behind him. The old man was astonished at the sight, but wishful to keep him humble, he struck him, saying, "Blockhead, hast thou brought me, that foolish dog?" And straightway the old man loosed her, and sent her home to her own place. 5. They told of the abbot Silvanus that he had a disciple in Skeet named Marcus, and he was of great obedience, and also a writer of the ancient script. And the old man loved him because of his obedience, and he had also 11 other disciples who were aggrieved that he loved him more than them. And when the old man in the neighborhood heard that the abbot loved him more than the rest, they took it ill. Reminds you that Joseph and his brother's story, right? So one day they came to him, and the abbot Silvanus took them with him, and went out of his cell, and began to knock at the cells of his disciples, one by one, saying, "Brother, come, I have need of thee." And not one of them obeyed him. He came to Marcus's cell, and knocked, saying, "Marcus." And when he had heard the old man's voice, he came straight outside, and the old man sent him on some errand. And the abbot Silvanus said to the old man, "Where are the other brethren?" And he went to Marcus's cell, and found a quaternion of manuscript, which he had that moment begun, and was making thereon the letter O. And on hearing the old man's voice, he had not stayed to sweep the pen full circle, so as to finish and close the letter that was under his hand. And the old man said, "Truly, abbot, him whom thou lovest, we love also, for God loveth him." And so the first one was like, well, what exactly are you obeying? And the second one was like a skill that people with ritual prayers and other stuff should actually pick up, is the ability to stop dead on instead of 15 minutes.